modern railway technology. It was real bush block ingenuity. At the peak of the industry, over 250 miles of bush train lines just like this snake their way through the bush. We'll be here for a few minutes, so take in the atmosphere and learn more about the dangers of the timber trade, the hauling and loading, the loss of tones and runaway loadies. Our driver, the guard, will be happy to show you through the engine and answer any questions you may have.
Yeah. Down into a sluice race. In that sluice race would be one of these ripple boards or riffle boards, and underneath this would be some sort of matting, so like a potato sack or an animal fur, something that was going to trap the gold. Now gold is about 6 times heavier than the rest of the sand and the stone washing off the hill behind me here, so it would fall down in between these gaps and everything else would wash over top. And what that would do is leave them, at the end of the day, a much more refined gravel that they could then pan the gold out of, as opposed to taking to a hillside like this, one shovelful at a time, and hoping that they found something. So it was a much more efficient way of mining, however it's not very good for the environment. It uses a lot of water, there's a lot of surrounding infrastructure that's needed. There were pollution issues, where does that water go once you've used it? But it also leaves some very big scars in the landscape. We're very fortunate here on the west coast that our bush regenerates relatively quickly, but down in places like central Otago, there's still some huge scars in the landscape down there from where they'd been mining way back in the 1860s. And so for that reason, sluicing is now actually illegal in New Zealand. However, we're very fortunate in that we are able to operate ours as a tourist demonstration. Obviously, we can't go moving it around looking for gold in the hillside behind us here, even though we know there is still gold up there. But we are able to turn it on and show you how it all works. Now you can see the big metal bar hanging off the back of the gun there. That gave them their lefty-righty adjustment. And if you can see the wooden tray full of rocks hanging underneath, that gave them their uppy-downy adjustment. So if they wanted to lift the gun up, put more rocks into the tray, it would lift the gun up. If they wanted the gun to come back down again, take a couple of buckets of water out and the gun would come back down again. So what I'll do now is I'll turn the gun on for you. I'll run it for a couple minutes so you can have a good look, take some photos and see how it all works. Just while the gun's running, please don't come any further down the path behind me here. I'd hate for you to get hurt just as much as I'm sure you'd hate to get wet.
Oh. Wow. Look at that, right? Woohoo!
So there we go, folks. We can see the water being shot at the hillside in front of us. Soon you'll be able to see the flow of water coming off the hill. And sometimes if you listen really carefully, you can hear the rocks churning away as they tumble down into our sluice rate.
Thank you.
Number one, the gold-bearing gravel is the stuff that's in your pan, yeah? The stuff in the bottom of the trough has already been panned by other people, so we know that there's no gold in it, yeah? Number two, this is a really hard one. You're going to get lots of stubborn little rocks that won't want to come out during our washing process. It's really important that we don't use our fingers to pick those stones out. The reason being, the natural oils in your skin, and particularly anything like moisturiser, will actually attach itself to the gold and make it float, and your gold will float away. You won't be able to separate it out from the rest of the sand and the stone that's in the pan here. And the last one, and this is the most important one, if you find something this size, except it's gold and shiny, it's mine. I dropped it the other day and I was like, so what we're going to do is we'll get some water in our pan like this, and we'll just give it a wee shake. Now gold's about 6 times heavier than the rest of the sand and the stone that's in the pan here, so it's going to sink to the bottom. Now it's important we hold our pan on a nice shallow angle. We don't want to hold it too flat because we'll end up with gold all around our pan. And it sounds really bizarre, but we're shaking everything into the corner of the round thing.
Oh, okay.
So once we've done our shaking for about 5 seconds, we'll pour that water off. Once all that water's run away, we're going to hold this nice steep angle for a process called washing. And all we're going to do is dip the pan in and out of the trough between 2 and 4 times and just wash those light sands and stones away from the front of the pan. On your last one, get some more water, give it another shake, shake all that gold back down to the bottom of the pan. 5 seconds, pour your water off, and just wash those light sands and stones away from the front of the pan. And it's just a case of rinse and repeating that process. First we're going to get rid of all the rocks. Below that will be sand. Below that will be black sand, which is actually iron ore. And then your gold will be right at the bottom. As long as we're giving our pan a good shake in between our washing process, the gold's going to sink to the bottom, so it's always going to be the last thing out of our pan. But if I give this a good wash now, provided I've done my homework right, can you see what I see in the bottom there? Just a few little...
Okay, tuh, look, Mason, look dulu itu.
A very fancy machine, plank of wood with 2 nails banged into it. Carbon 0, it's great. And if it breaks down, I don't have to call for a technician to come fix it.